Hello, everybody. I figured light looks pretty nice. I figured I'd just go live. I was feeling like doing some laps, and there you go. And I figured, why not? Why not go live? Just because. Put this mic away. I was doing the news the other day. Normally, I clean up the mics. I like to keep everything all tucked away because these are cheap mics. Well, this one is anyway, and I don't want to get the wires all twisted if I can help it. So I do put this mic away pretty regularly. And hey, Monty, cheers, man, cheers. Just figured I'd go live. Just wanted to do some laps tonight with the Viper that I got from LEB a little bit ago. And hey, DeLeon, cheers, man, cheers. Yep, just figured I'd go live. I wanted to come down. Just got done watching a movie on Hulu, and I hadn't gone live in a while. And I figured, why not, right? Wanted to do some laps with the Viper here. Get these kind of out of the way a little bit. How's everybody doing? I know it's kind of late night. Yeah, hey, Oscar, cheers, man. Slot Invasion USA. Slot Invasion USA. Slot Invasion USA. Gotta love them. I do. Everybody should. Yes, we're gonna take this. We're gonna do scale auto tonight. We're gonna do the well. This is the sideways, right? Yes, of course. This is sideways. We're gonna take the. Yeah, I just got done watching a movie, and I figured I'd. What did I watch? What did I watch? I watched. Oh Jesus! It was that memorable. To Catch a Killer, I think. It was about a Baltimore agent, a Baltimore police officer that kind of gets assigned to the FBI as a liaison, and they catch a mass murderer, and it was really good. It was the movie was really good, and just wanted to chill tonight. Oh, these tires are going to hit this. The pinion here. Yeah, so the movie was really good, and I don't know. I just figured I'd go live. I wanted to come down, hang out for a little bit, and if folks wanted to come hang out in an impromptu stream and just chill, hey, 16 people. Holy crap. Thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up. And I got baseball tomorrow. Got the Little League World Series finishing up tomorrow. And Monty, Michael, good movie. Yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah, I can't remember the name. I have a really terrible memory. Since I had COVID, my memory is pretty bad anyway. But I've had COVID 3 times, and it's really hard for me to remember stuff. I have been feeling a lot better recently. Anyway. Oh, this has still got the magnet in it. Shit. Come on. This is a pain in the you-know-what to take the magnet out of this. Anyway. Yeah. I just figured I'd go live and see if folks would show up. And if they did, cool. If they didn't, no big deal. Man, this thing with the magnet. Even without the magnet. This is the latest. It's the latest Viper from ScaleAuto. There's a pair of these that just came out. The Viper Exchange cars. These evidently were raced in at the Glen, and I don't think I was there for that race. But I have seen Vipers race there. It's really a Viper is such a cool car, and it was neat to see other Vipers race there. Move this in just a little bit here. Feels like it's fouling the wheel. The wheel well. There we go. There we go. Boy, it's a tight one in there. Woo! It is a tight one in there. It might be a little better, actually, yeah. So what's been going on in the world of slot cars, guys, huh? We had the slotted race at Electric Dreams. That was pretty cool, I guess. I didn't watch the coverage. I've been super busy. And I know there was a lot of cool stuff talked about there, most notably the 510 that everybody, hopefully, is going to buy. That's going to be a really incredible car. I'm really happy that Slotted is getting into that kind of area. Just have an open can? No, this is a closed can. And hey, Charles, cheers, baby. Thanks a lot, Charles. I really appreciate it. Michael Squire, you're soldering. Hey, Patrick. A lot of folks. Hey, Raul. Yeah, I figured I'd just go live. I just figured I'd go live. I brought my computer down, just got done watching the movie, like I said before, and just wanted to come out and hang out and relax. And I really wanted to get this Viper on the track. I hadn't had a chance to because I've been pretty busy most of the summer, quite frankly. And I've kind of been taking, I want to say, a break from doing the YouTube channel, but it's been a lot of work with my work for the paper and my work for whatever else, Scale Auto Vipers. Yeah, man, these are awesome cars. Just checking my battery levels here. I got the Doppler effect on. I get the better mic here. The Rode that I got. Quiet car, so Doppler effect in full effect. Sounds a little chunky, right? The mesh might not be quite right there. Oh yeah. Let's sit down, shall we? Let's take a load off. I mean, it sounds nice and smooth, right? On the track, I know you probably can't hear it as well as I can, of course. But yeah, I mean, this is a nice smooth car, and these are the tires that I kind of change all around. I bought a bunch of extra NSRs, and then for some reason I just keep using the same set of tires. I just swap them around kind of as I'm doing nonsense down here talking to you all. And yeah, so I really need to get with the program, get a little bit more professional here, shall I? I don't know though. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a long summer. Baseball has really been taking a lot of my time, and with real work and with consulting stuff for like LEB and not really for Slotted. They're pretty I keep updated with their Facebook page, and sometimes they update with them stuff themselves, so I don't have to. But then I update their Instagram. So it's been a long summer, and summer kind of, as I think of it, kind of comes to an end this weekend because it's Little League World Series. The final game is tomorrow, and I'm going to shoot the game tomorrow. That's a little smoother. Such nice cars. Jesus. We're just really, we got so many nice cars. Anyway, yeah, so I kind of get into the fall mentality with stuff because kind of once Little League is over, then I do high school football for my my full-time job. And I mean, other things as well. I shoot a lot, different things, news videos, whatever. Anyway, but I just kind of get into the kind of fall mindset. And I guess that's kind of why I wanted to get back on and, I don't know, reconnect with you all. just to sit around. I realized I hadn't done a late night laps in a while, so there we go. Such a beautiful model, right? I didn't really think. I'm not really a big fan of white cars, So, who's in the final? It's cheers, Raul. I really appreciate that, man. You do a hell of a job on your channel too, man. It is Curacao, which should be entertaining. Their coaches are super emotive. They're always like they always got something to yell out to their players. I don't know what they're saying because it's I don't know what language they speak in Curacao, but it's I don't know. It's like a mix of all kinds of stuff. It's really cool to hear them. It's just they're it's exciting because they really emote. And so Curacao and California, El Segundo, California. There we go. Yeah. So anyway, I hadn't really. Okay. So white cars. I'm not a huge fan of white cars, and cars that are white don't sell particularly well. We had seen this. Now, this is a big generality. Now, this is like one of these things where, I don't really. Hey, Cuthbert, cheers. Yeah, 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 man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Cyberg RM slot cars. Cheers. Um, so this is a little bit of inside slot car baseball. Okay. Um, this is not, boy, I got to do all kinds of caveats here because people get upset with me when I talk about stuff that I know, but a lot of people don't have experience with because they haven't been a distributor or someone that picks liveries on cars or whatever. So here we go, and let the chips fall where they may. If you're getting upset with me from what I'm about to say, feel free just to go to hell. To be honest. So in any case, white cars don't sell particularly well. We figured this out when I worked for Carrera. So cars that are, yeah, I'm going to piss a lot of folks off here. So white cars, the Chaparral's a different case because it's a Chaparral and they're only white. Other white cars, I don't have a lot, probably because they don't sell well. Anyway, white cars don't particularly sell well. This is not a great example because this sold okay. We found this out when I worked for Carrera that if we would pick certain liveries on certain cars and they were mostly the catalog was like mostly white cars or a lot of white cars, that frankly they just wouldn't sell well. This car really didn't do a lot for me when I saw it posted online. When I posted it online and when I showed it in the news, I'll be honest with you, it didn't really speak to me. However, I did want the newer version of the Viper to kind of go with my Don't Mess with Texas Viper, just to kind of see, if there was any updates, just to kind of get one of the new cars. And LEB was gracious enough to send it to me. And I got to say, one of the things that really didn't come across is when you see a car in person, it has a certain presence that maybe it doesn't in a photo. And that's really hard to do. Being a photographer, I'm sure Raul can talk about this too. It's one of these things where certain colors just don't necessarily translate, or it's really hard to get kind of the essence of a car. That sounds really pompous and ridiculous, but it's kind of true. It's really hard to get a great photo of a car that really speaks to the car, right? And I found that white doesn't really do that very well. However, I really wanted another Viper. I wanted to see kind of, if there was anything different with the new car. And I like the fact that this was from the Glen. I do plan at some point on taking this car up to Watkins Glen and photographing it there near the track, if possible. But when I got the car, as is usually the case, it's excuse me, sorry for coughing. It's just something that like the blue stripe is kind of a Viking blue. It's not like a dark blue. It's kind of like a light, medium metallic blue. And boy, this is a great looking car. And it's not just because I got one from LEB for free. I get a lot of cars that are kind of like, nah, okay, it's all right. Um, this is a great looking car, and I'm very grateful that LEB sent me one. And these Vipers really do. I think they're really great cars. And I mean, again, this is a really beautiful car. I'm happy that they decided that it was okay to send me one, and it's really cool what Scale Auto is doing, because this is the only Viper we got. You know, it's really it's just it's beautiful. Just how else can you explain it? What is? Oh, okay, it's just a reflection. I saw the reflection of the light being cast on the roof of this one Cuda, and I thought, why is there this huge dent in the roof of the Cuda? It's not. Duh, it's just a shadow. Anyway, yeah. So these Vipers are great cars. I really wish they still raced the Viper. I still wish they still made the Viper, for goodness sakes. Beautiful cars. Don't mess with Texas down here, shall we? This has the Scale Auto tires back on it. No, still the NSRs. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, these cars, they really speak to me. And like I said, I'm not the world's biggest, Mopar fan. The Cuda's notwithstanding, I guess. I don't know. Who has the Cudas? So as far, I mean, it's uh, uh, Cincy Slots has them. LEB will have them. If you want to email LEB and encourage them, I guess, to get them. I talked with Lynn yesterday. Yesterday? Yes, I believe yesterday. And she did say, and boy, I hope she doesn't then change her mind and decide not to get them. Lynn will be getting the Cudas, a couple different colors. I don't know what colors. I told her that she should definitely get the green one, the blue one, and the yellow one. Right? They're the kind of normal releases. I don't want to say that the other ones are abnormal, but these other cars are like the special edition priced cars, is how I should say it, I guess. They're yes, these are all these cars come with magnets. I'm not really sure why you'd ask that. Yes, they come with magnets. They are magnet cars. I don't race with magnets. This Viper still does have a magnet in it, not because I think magnets are great, just because it came with a magnet. If you like racing with magnets, please race with magnets. These Cudas come with magnets, of course. Every car comes with a magnet, basically. Anyway, so these cars are the normal release colors that have just been done: blue, green, yellow, and they're about $75-ish retail suggested, I believe. LEB will have them. Cincy Slots, I know, does have them. Great Traditions, Lakota Collectibles, GTSlotCars.com. They're all kind of one person. It's the three names that my friend Rich uses. He's selling these. He was the guy that commissioned these. That's Great Traditions. So he does have these cars. The retail on these cars, each of these cars that's $75. This is beautiful color, by the way. Kind of a light metallic blue. It says fire blue or something like that. Yes, fire blue metallic. It is gorgeously reflectant of blue. It's like it really picks it up. This is not an expensive webcam, and boy, howdy, does this thing look nice. Grassy green. Grassy green looks pretty good on this camera as well. Fantabulous. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. It was funny because I was talking to Rich the other night, the guy that had these made, and he's like, "Yeah, you really haven't said anything bad about cars recently, about any car, because like I'd gotten a knock from somebody." Anyway, There's a lot going on behind the scenes, unfortunately, guys. And he was Rich was kind of laughing at me. He's like, "Yeah, you really, you really haven't said anything bad about any cars recently." I'm like, "We got so much good stuff that why be negative about this shit, right? There's so much negativity out there. There's so many other good reasons to be negative, especially when someone's being shitty to you." In any case, this is yellow. This is curious yellow. It's curious that they called this curious yellow. What is curious about yellow? I ask you. Regardless, Jesus, it is beautiful. This is a non-metallic. It's kind of like a satin finish. It's not very high gloss. No, they're in line, brother. In line. SCX do not do no sidewinders. They don't do any angle winders. They only do inline. There you go. Curious George yellow. Curious George yellow. That could very well be. That's a good thought, Rob Wheeler. Good thought, Rob. Honestly, that's seriously, that's definitely a good thought. Yeah. Now I'm watching this. The tires that I always use, 20 by 11s. By the way, I get a lot of that question. 20 by 11s. If you're watching, hey DK, cheers. You have 5 of them. Probably get 2 or 3 of the new colors. Right on. I mean, if that's in your budget, they're beautiful cars. And like I said in the video, these are the last. And you all heard what I meant by that. So I don't want to get caught up in, oh, will they ever make any more Cudas? Come on, guys. Of course they will. Jesus. They're going to make more Cudas. Why do people think that if they make one thing, that's the last of the thing forever? I don't get why people think that it's like the end of the world half the time. Anyway, SCX will make more Cudas. I'm sure they'll have another one next year. If they don't, they're idiots. And will they? I assume so. I don't really talk to them much. I wouldn't ask them just because I don't want to be in a position where if I get asked, I can't answer the question. So I tend not to ask those questions. Would they answer me? Yeah, probably. Hard to pick. Honestly, if I were to pick, it'd probably go with blue. Probably go with blue. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so yes, David. They do have the hey Reese, cheers, man, cheers. They do have the FR42. They do have the FR42. All of the new Cudas since we had made that kind of first batch. Remember when I first talked about that other first batch, a couple of years ago now? There was a purple. This is not in this batch though. There was Plum Crazy that had been done, and that had been part of a different batch. Just checking my batteries here. So if I go dead, you know why. Nope, batteries are looking good. Cool. Yeah, so purple is not in the new batch of cars. Sorry. Just the 6 that you see here. There's black. There's kind of this copper. It's kind of like a copper color. See if that can actually get that color a little better. It looks a little orangey on the screen. I mean, it's deep burnt orange. It looks like a mixture of kind of a very umber orange. It's a metallic paint. Yes, it's metallic. And it's definitely, I mean, I would kind of describe this. No, it's an 18K motor. This is not a 23K. The FR42 is essentially a Scalextric or Carrera motor. I spec'd that motor when we were doing the new batch of cars. The FR42 is, I mean, essentially 18,000 RPM, just like the Scalextric motor, just like the Carrera motor. It's a, did they make it in Hemi Orange? They did make it was an orange, yes, but again, not in this batch. So if you go to the the you don't want to pay limited, well then don't. Okay, $75, $75, $75, $200, $200, $200. Look, I don't know why people go to I don't want to buy this or that for this or for that price. Don't then. Okay, not to put it too fine a point on it, but there are three cars that are not $200. Why would complaining about a $200 car be the first thing you talk about? Okay, I I'm just I don't want to put too fine a point on it, DK. And I know you're a cool guy, and I'm not trying to be a jerk to you here, but don't then. There you go. Um, Hurricane. I've been thinking hurricane thoughts recently. Did I put yeah, I did put new screws on this thing just to get maybe a little more float in there, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but the Cudas have a new that new motor, which is definitely a speedier motor. Feels really good going around the track. It's older SCX motors kind of had that. It's like uh, RX-42Bs. Jesus, they definitely had a cog gear kind of a feel because the armature stack and the magnets were a lot. There was a lot more magnetic pull. They're not neo magnets, but there were definitely stronger magnets, which definitely gave that kind of more coggy kind of effect. So it's definitely uh, yeah. I mean the purple cars, those are collector prices now, right? So these most more recent releases, those are going to be the cheaper ones now. That's why I told you guys, if you're in the market for a Cuda, time to buy them now when you can get them at the regular price. Okay. After that, the whole point of him making the cars, because Rich did all of these cars exclusively through SCX, they sold him all of these cars exclusively for a reason, which is because so he can sell certain prices on certain cars for a certain amount of time, and then after that they're all collectible, and then he makes the majority of the money back for the cost of a lot of money. I know the numbers, what he paid for, well, not this batch but the first batch I was involved in. It was not cheap, guys. You would trust me, it was not cheap. You're not going to begrudge someone making money in a business, and I don't begrudge Rich one bit making his money back for the cars that he paid for himself. That no one was sure, besides me, that they would sell. And you take a risk. That's the whole thing about business, right? You take a risk when you talk about um, making things and choosing what to release, choosing what cars may work, what stuff might make sense. There is no guarantee, none, when you're making this stuff. And that's where kind of a lot of folks who do YouTube as like a hobby, they like to throw stones at people who are in the business or who have been in the business, like myself. And yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. it's it's a tough business to be in because it is not a big business. The market is really small, and you know you've you've got to pick your battles in this business. You've got to make sure that what you're making is going to sell, and it is a tough thing to guess about. What I found with this car is what I really like with this car, with these Hurricanes, is just doing a little bit of pod loosen on the three screws. The body is actually still pretty tight. The front probably needs a little side to side. I did change the braid on this to SCX braid. Hey, John, cheers. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Change this to SCX Pro Braid because, frankly, it deserves it. It's a long can motor, and this does have quite a bit of magnetic downforce. So that definitely helps it get around. It's a little... I did not use TrackMaster 5000 to clean this up before I started doing laps tonight. Whoa, that's a big magnet on there. Wowzers. But we'll take the Texas car around again. This car I did see at the Glen one year when I was there, and I took pictures of it for Scaleauto, and I was kind of hoping that we would do it when I worked for them. You know, love the Hurricane. Yeah. Saw it right over on your channel. Oh, very cool, Raul. Yeah, it's a great car. It's definitely one of those cars that you know, if you're into modern GT stuff, it's an awesome car to have. It's probably my favorite European car, even over, over the 588 or the 458, probably. Not the 298, the new Ferrari GT3. I think looks fantastic, sexy AF. And but the Huracan is definitely a favorite of mine. They've had okay success in the real racing series, so it's definitely probably right up there as a car that as a real car that I like quite a bit. And yeah, purple, blah 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 blah. Just checking to see 40 people. Very cool. Yeah, I figured I'd go live and just see if anyone would show up. That'd be cool. Folks were doing whatever. I'd understand. No magnet in this car. Smooth as glass. We are getting into the season, aren't we, guys? It's been a little slim for news the last couple weeks. Has not been much that's been arriving recently. In Spain, Italy, a lot of Europe, a lot of folks take off the whole month. Certainly in Spain, pretty much all of August, maybe the first week or two of September, folks take off. I mean, you saw, well, yeah, it's pretty common for folks in Europe to take a lot of the summer off. When I worked for SCX, unfortunately, I did not get a lot of the summer off. I got some of it off. Anyway, yeah, Spain is on summer break. Exactly. I would like the new Raul says Conquest. Hopefully we get the new Supra GT3. Yeah, I agree. I really hope we do too. That'd be a beautiful car. BMW M4 chassis, right? Beautiful car, though. The body work on it is fantastic. It's really over the top. I love that. I do expect that we're going to start seeing some cool stuff. I'm hopeful that when I'm in New York in a couple weeks for Toy Fair, Toy Fair is kind of at the end of September this year in New York City, and I do plan on going. At least I'll be there probably only one day. That's about all I need. I'm going to talk with, I believe, I'm going to talk with Scaleauto and with Carrera. I think that'll probably be the only two people there that that will have a booth. Maybe Brian will be there too. Maybe Brian Young will be there. Probably he will be. That would be fun to do a live stream with him. And Brian's a great guy. He's a crazy guy. I love him. He's awesome. He and I work together at SCX. Yeah, Vipers. Gotta love the Viper. I really do wish that they would make Can I do laps with one of the Cudas? Um, when do you see? Hey, Gary, cheers. So my wood track is all covered with crap now, so I can't. I mean, I can't show it to you because it's just you wouldn't be able to see it. Soon. um, how about I go get one of the? I have one of the Cudas that was a newer one, but not from this batch. If you want me to go get that, I will. That's fine. You got to give me a minute, if that's okay, Garth. Yeah, but you will definitely see my wood track. I do plan on. I mean, you can't see it. I don't know why I'm gesturing like this. It's over there, and the camera that I have here, the webcam, and then the computer and stuff, and this it's on my studio stand, and it rolls. And now that's cleared out on the other side of the wood track. So what I do plan to do actually fairly soon, I might do a live stream kind of like this, just nonsense in the middle of the night. And what camera am I using now? I'm using a Brio, Logitech Brio camera. Quality is really pretty not bad, right? Got old lumpy old me in pretty wide angle view. The color looks pretty decent. Hey, Moondoggy. So I do plan on doing a kind of a cleanup night that I might just live stream because why the hell not, right? And I may get a lot of the track cleaned off before I do that because there's a lot of crap on it. I'm kind of using it for a table now, unfortunately. But as far as I know, the track still works because when I stopped using it the last time, when I turned the power off, it's got its own power supply. It worked fine. I may have to do some soldering on the tape. I have, it's got, oh God, maybe 1/8 wide. Yeah, it's not quarter. It's got the copper tape that goes around it. So it's should be ready to go. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's I mean it's a little 3-lane wood track. It's not like it's kind of shaped like a kidney bean. It fit in a it was a storage room actually that I had at the time when I lived in New York City, and it was a small room. It was really a storage room, basically a closet, and I had 11 feet and of length, and then I could come out about 4 feet before I kind of came to the edge of kind of the stuff I had stored in there. So the track ended up being it's 11 feet long. It's 3 lanes and it's routed, so there's chicanes all over the place. Um, it's a very basic track. Anyway, you guys will see it. You guys will see it. It's like I say, it's not like the most exciting track in the world, but whatever. It is what it is, as folks like to say. And it's a wood track, and there you go. 38 folks. Hey, 38 minutes too. Cool. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do some stuff. Goof. Acura. Do we still? Yeah, we still have the NSR tires on the Acura. This does not feel nearly as fast. Hello, as the Viper when it accelerates down the straight. I wonder if there's something. Well, maybe it does. I don't know. Feels a little slower. No, maybe not. I've been listening to the guys at Talking Utter Slot a lot recently, and they make a good point, I think. Do they make good points? I don't know, Pedro. Do you make a good point? They talk a lot about like they're kind of laughing about the cars of the year thoughts, right? And like, so the Shadow, where's the Shadow? I think it's in my office, at my gaming computer, and how the car of the year is the one you have close at hand, right? So the cars of the year for right now are the Audi R8 by SCX from 10 years ago, the Pro car, the sideways Lamborghini Huracan, the pink one, the NSX from Scale Auto, and the Viper from Scale Auto. Not quite in reach are the other, I don't know why I'm doing this, the Cudas from Great Traditions that are collectively the car of the year. These are closer though. So maybe those are more car of the year because they're closer. Is it a distance thing? Is this a distance sensitive thing, guys? Talking utter slot, Pedro and Scott. Is that a thing? It could be. It could be distance sensitive. I don't know. Oh, see now the chaparral has been reached. Boy, I'm just rambling here, aren't I? Why cars of the year? Cars of the year is a funny thought because like the car of the year for you is like the most important car you bought that year, the car that you were waiting for most, and something you had the greatest affection for, or the car you were able to go fast with, the car you bought your kid, the car that your kid bought you, your wife bought you, right? I don't know. It's subjective nonsense, of course. Just like playing with toy cars in the middle of the night to people that I'll never probably meet, with very few exceptions. In my shorts with flip-flops on YouTube, just rambling, talking about toy cars for 41 minutes and 40, 50, 6, 2, 3, 4, 42 minutes and 1 second. I've been rambling. It's a diversion. It's fun. You play with toys. You go to a race. Maybe you hang out with folks you like. Maybe you race with them. Maybe you stick around. Maybe you buy more cars. Maybe you go to race in another country. Maybe you start a blog. Maybe you start a YouTube channel. You see the slippery slope of nonsense? Maybe you start a YouTube channel and then other people start YouTube channels. And then maybe other people yet tell you how to run your YouTube channel. Those are the fun ones because they don't have enough time figuring their own stuff out. And then you come back to toy cars in the middle of the night just for something to do. That's it. They're all just toys. We share a love of 3/8 inch to the foot toy cars with small motors, no magnets in my case, on a track made by Italians, made in China, and I live in Pennsylvania. It's an international event. It's foolishness. It's all just toys. There we are. This is a beautiful car. Is it car of the year? It's in my hands. It must be. It must be car of the year. It has to be car of the year. Unless I hold multiple cars in my hands, that's not how that works. If I juggle the cars, does that make them, as they touch my hands, does that make them one or more car of the year? Probably. Possibly. Inevitably, it does. I'm rambling. That's what you get when you come in the middle of the night, when I have no plan. This is just such a nice car, though. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful car. Absolutely beautiful car. Yes, just to have fun. Just to have fun. Run the old Cuda. Okay. I'll go get a Cuda that works. All right. I don't want to take these out of the case because I haven't taken them out of the case. I'll be right back though. Stay there. That was the chair, not anyway. Into my office. You can hear me. Getting a functional Cuda or two. Hopefully, things don't go haywire with me trying to find a Cuda to drive. Functional Cudas. Functional Cudas. Wherefore art thou, functional Cudas? There art thou. And oh, what's this? Is that another functional Cuda? Oh, this is a skeleton Cuda. Throw this nonsense into the mix, shall we? This is not the one I normally drive. Oh well. That's a Challenger. What am I doing? I don't know my. Yeah, neither of these cars. Do I have another Cuda that I normally drive? Run an old Cuda. Okay. This is a Challenger from Scaleauto. Why did I grab this car? This is a set car because it has the black windows. Not going to drive that car. No. This is one of the OG Cudas. This is the first gen Cuda. Hey, we can compare colors. Here we go. Two different colors. This is the Sassy Grass Green. This is the Sublime Green. Not sure the name of the color. But there you go. There you see the two different colors. Two different greens. Yeah, no problem, Garth. Cheers. And this is one of the first. I was sent 4 early cars before they were actually produced as samples when I worked for SCX. And I was going to take them down to show Rich, the guy who made all of these other cars. This is while I was working for SCX. So I was sent a case of them. A case is 4. Master pack is 4. This was one of the original 4. I still have one in the case. And do I have a third one here? I might have a third one here because this shouldn't have this braid on it. I never drive a car usually with the doubled over braid. Anyway, so this was one of the first 4. This was one sent me directly from SCX when I was working for the company. This was an unnumbered one that was just in a regular case. Also, this still has the magnet, which means that I never touched the thing. In 2009, that's when we made these. So what it says stamped on the bottom there. Okay, original Cuda. This is one of the early ones. Does this have a special interior in it that I made? No. This is the Sweet Savage car, as you can see. This is one of the original cars. I would have been sent this as a sample when we were first making the cars. I got a pair of these that are prototypes that are in my office that are non-functional. And again, this one has the regular braid, so this is not one that I have ever used. Does not have the magnet, which makes me wonder if I ever ran it. I might have run this one. There's got to be another. I feel like there's another Cuda here. Another Cuda in the mix. Another Cuda in the house. Wherefore art thou, Cudas? Maybe I don't have another one. I feel like I do, though, that has good braid on it. Somewhere there is a Cuda with good braid. And it's sure as shit not here, because that other braid is nonsense. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so we'll run the Sweet Savage car. How about that? This is the original motor, though. So this is a very untouched car. This is not going to be. Oh baby. Does this have a magnet? Because Jesus. Wow, what a bucket of bolts. This Is this even like this axle doesn't feel like it's making, this thing might actually be broken. Oh, this has got a slow motor in it, maybe. No, that's a 42B. This is not the right motor. The new cars have the faster motor, not these old motors. But this is one of the first ones. Anyway, this is one of the first SCX Cudas. These are fairly spendy now when you try to buy these. I have this one and that I have out of the box. I don't have a 48 out of the box. And then I have the two prototypes, which are different. They have silver wheels. They're non-functional. They don't have the guts underneath. And the color's a little off, I think, because these were just samples just to kind of show what they were going to look like, not actually what they did look like. Yeah, these braids are little twisties, little twistages. Probably. Hey, batteries are lasting. Very cool, guys. People here. 38 people, 39 people. Thanks for showing up. I mean, that sounds okay. Oh, there we go. Well, there we go. It's sticking better. It's got better contact. It deslotted. As slow as that is, how in the world could that have possibly deslotted? As slow as this darn car is, it's not making good contact. You got braid juice here? I had braid juice here. Had it somewhere. Where is the braid juice? Thanks, David. I'm familiar with SCX cars. I worked for them for a few years. This car hasn't been touched for maybe a decade. And it's not really making... Hey, life. No oil. Picking up speed. Picking up speed with the oil. Keep in mind, this is 9 volts. With the old RX-42B, which is maybe 16,000 RPM. There's about a 20% production variation, I think, in the 42Bs. There's a terrible production variation. These cars, the motors suffered from a lot of production variation. It's going okay now. It's going all right. A little pokey. A little pokey. Usually when I'd run these cars, I'd change them to a 10-tooth pinion, and then they'd pick up quite a bit of speed. The 10-tooth pinions and the slightly torquier 42B motor is a great combination. And SCX, we made some really nice pro parts. There's definitely a lot of vibration in the back end on this car, though. So it's losing a lot of power. Losing a lot of power with vibration. Been a while since I put one of these cars on the track. I mean, they're good cars. They're much better cars with the better motor, believe me. You need to pull out an old inventory and run from time to time. Yeah, no, I do. I definitely do drive older cars all the time here. I just don't just kind of doing it on the fly. Yeah, so you see how much faster this is? That's what these Cudas are going to be like, because it's essentially the same motor with a different end bell connection. But this is a Scaleauto Challenger. This is a set car with obviously still with the magnet. And the new Cudas have a motor that is spec'd to be, I know because I spec'd it, is spec'd to be the FR42, which is essentially the same RPM as a Scalelectric motor. By the way, these set cars, most of them actually do have an interior. For reasons that escape me, they set cars that come with black windows, the mold for the interior is part of the mold regardless of whether it's a set car or not. So probably this has an interior, but no driver's head. I've torn apart a lot of Scalelectric set cars, and pretty invariably, when they have black windows, there's still an interior in there, but no driver's head. It's a little baffling, but you know, it's the slot car industry. Not a lot of it makes sense. And you try and explain this to people who are in business, who are in other kinds of businesses, and you talk to them about how decisions get made for these toy companies. And the more you work for a toy company, well, a slot car company, the less makes sense just how it works. And then you get called names on the internet, like I do, by people that will never work in the industry. Fun times. Boy, this is a nice car. It's really humid here in Pennsylvania tonight, so that's definitely contributing to the grip. Polycar track, I get questions all the time. I love me some Polycar track. Tons of grip, rubber tires. These are 21 by 11. Yes. 20? My eyes. 20 by 11 NSR rubber tires. They work perfectly on Polycar track. Perfectly. You don't need magnets. You don't need silicone tires if you have Polycar track. And then most rubber tires work. That's how it goes. Oh. Anybody have any questions? Hey, it's been about an hour. Very cool. A couple folks have shown up. Quite a few folks have shown up. I really appreciate it. For a impromptu, ridiculous nonsense, just stream of consciousness, foolishness, late summer stream. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to come down and run some cars, and I figured I'd go live just because. No other reason than that. It's Sunday tomorrow, right? Yeah. So I'm doing Little League World Series, the final game tomorrow. And then I think probably Monday or Tuesday I'm going down to Philadelphia. I'm going down to see the guy that made these cars. When do I think the yellow 512 M will be out? You know, Garth, I don't know, man. Reasonably soon. I think probably before the end of the year. It's going to be hit and miss who carries it because of the Ferrari issue, let's say, in the U.S. with importing Ferraris into the Ferrari toys into the U.S. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but there will be a few dealers that carry the car, the new yellow, the Turgal. I think it's Turgal, right? 512M from Slotted. I'm sure it's going to be a gorgeous car. I'm sure of it. The others have just been staggering. Just such beautiful cars. And they run so nicely. Jesus. So, yeah. Probably before the end of the year, I would assume. Yeah, so Little League is over tomorrow. And then back to normal work. So I do plan on probably doing more regular live streams. Probably do more of these at night just to, because there's a lot of time when I Just want to come on, and if there's folks that want to come out and throw me some questions, that'd be cool too. Just to chill out, have a good time, and there you go. Please give the stream a thumbs up if you are so moved. That really means quite a bit. If you do want to send me a tip through Buy Me a Coffee, I'm going to be buying more lights. And frankly, if nobody is under any obligation, I'm not trying to guilt people into doing it. If you want to help me out, you can. If you don't, that's okay too. That is okay too. Just showing up means the world to me. Believe me, guys. What do I know for news this week? This coming week. I haven't seen too much. I am going to be doing a model Monday again at some point fairly soon. I've kind of been saving up a bunch of pictures to do kind of like a big Model Monday drop. There's been a lot of great models that have been coming out. When I do the Model Monday stuff, it's kind of with the idea that they could be turned into slot cars. I don't want to get off onto like Armor, which is frankly, honestly, Armor is my favorite. But Armor, aviation really hasn't done much for me. Ships really don't do much for me. Why I kind of wanted to do Model Monday was just to kind of tie in a little bit maybe with cars that could be turned into slot cars. So certainly 143, certainly 132, 124, 125th cars, anything that's possible to be turned into a slot car. That was kind of the idea of kind of doing Model Monday, just to kind of have something a little bit different. And what else have I seen that's probably I'm going to talk about? Well, I'm definitely going to be talking about Racetrack Scenics. They have a whole bunch of Targa-inspired buildings that they've been doing. I showed the one the other day, which is kind of like, I want to say the main building, but that's kind of the one that you see in a lot of photos, right? And that's how almost all of us know Targa Florio. We will never have a chance. Obviously, they don't do it anymore. They haven't done it for decades, but we know it through the photos, right? And Vaccarella and Bandini, and seeing all these names on the sides of the buildings or on the ground. Viva Vaccarella, Vivi, that was like used probably in chalk, I'm thinking, on the roads, and it was just such a beautiful race. Dangerous, of course, but those races that you could pretty much never have anymore, like the Targa, like old style real road racing, almost like rally, what they still do with rally. They get out there and they go balls out, just go on regular streets with hay bales. What the hell's a hay bale going to do? It kind of marks the edge of the road, but it's not going to actually stop anything, and 800 horsepower Ferrari or something, Porsche goes flying by. But anyway, so definitely been talking about the Racetrack Scenic stuff. We're really, and I've mentioned this a lot, we're really in an amazing place now in the hobby with having all of these small companies making, the car companies are fairly small too, but the companies making, like the Esso, the Drip guy, and, Oscar's still here from Slot Invasion US, by their guides. They make some awesome stuff, and it's small companies like that are giving us, a very specific, very useful, very good product that, it's like it's aimed right at us. And, they make such specific stuff. And Racetrack Scenics are those folks, and Magnetic Racing and Area 71 with the 3D printed stuff. These really, really niche companies are doing just some amazing, amazing work. And, my friend Rich, who's making the Cudas, was kind of laughing at me. He's like, well, you haven't said anything bad about any cars in a long time. And I'm like, well, there's just so much good stuff out now that there's kind of a little bit of something for everyone. Someone commented, about the Cudas aren't for me, but they really liked the shirt that I was wearing. Well, not everything's going to be for everybody. You know that. I mean, it's common sense. The guy was just making a joke, and that's cool. But there's just so much good stuff that just focusing on the positive, on the cool stuff, on the stuff that you like the body. You may not like the motor. Change the motor. You may not like the body. Don't buy the car. You may not like the price. Believe me, I get that. I don't. If I weren't doing the YouTube channel, getting the samples, quite frankly, I spend my money on camera gear because I'm a photographer. They don't buy me gear. I buy all my gear myself. I'm not complaining about that. Just the way it is. And, people spend the money on the things that are most important to them. And frankly, I got more cars than I know what to do with anyway. And yeah, Bryce. Yeah, I mean, it's the best time. Is the best time. I don't know what. There's no best time. It's a perfect time. There's a confluence of good going on right now. Trademark that confluence of good going on. But I'm just being silly here. Don't anyone swear at me about trademarks again. Keep your trademark discussion to yourself, young man. You know nothing. There's so much good stuff going on right now in the hobby. It is just the best time to be involved because you have awesome cars at a reasonable price and awesome cars at an unreasonable price. whatever that price is you're not willing to pay, it's unreasonable. See what I did there? I'm prevaricating, splitting hairs. But it's like there's so much good going on right now. Focus on that stuff that you really like in the hobby. I like scenery. The scenery, even though I don't have, maybe my scenery hasn't been worked on as much as it should, and it will be. There's definitely something in the hobby for everybody. Do you like speed? Maybe you go a little more toward the non-scale stuff, the stuff that races at commercial tracks. Maybe you like 1/43rd scale, or you like HO. God bless. Enjoy it. There's a lot of great stuff out there. It hasn't ever been better quality than it is right now. So yes, Bryce, it is a great time to be in the hobby because the quality hasn't ever been better. I don't think the range of products has ever been better. Certainly, the companies that are here to give you that niche stuff weren't really ever here before. There were different versions of kind of the same thing, but companies like Racetrack Scenics here in the US, who they're great guys. They make some really nice stuff at a very reasonable price. Keep that in mind. Very reasonable price. Made in America by a couple of guys, maybe two. And it's a labor of love for them. No one's getting rich doing this, right? They think it's worth doing. They enjoy doing it, and they get a lot of excitement and the passion out of making the stuff. That's how they're enjoying the hobby. Are they racing all the time? Probably not, but it's how they enjoy the hobby is making the little SO guy, making the project that is a fun little project, and it's cheap. I think the kit was like $20. And I have the little tower here that I did a project on. It's a really great time to be in the hobby. And there's so much good YouTube content out there. All of it is worth watching. All of it. Regardless of what streamer you support. It's all worth watching because there's a little something for everybody there from everybody who does YouTube. There's a lot of folks here. There's probably a couple folks here still, if I haven't bored them away, that have YouTube channels themselves, and go follow them, go watch them. Everyone has their own take on what's fun in the hobby and what they enjoy, and yeah, mine's a little newsy, and just hanging out and talking with folks. I could talk slot cars all night. I could also talk photography all night. I'm not going to do either here. The car's a track. Makes getting into the hobby and building an awesome setup achievable by anyone. Yes, Yes, Ron Fast. It does, because a track is not really all that expensive. There's a lot of used track out there. If you don't have the money to buy a new track, I get it. There's a lot of used track out there. Uh, you can get used track. You could go in with a friend, buy it, buy track, race together. That's the best thing, is always racing with somebody. If you're into scenery, buy the scenery. It's not hard to make the little wooden buildings that folks like Racetrack Scenics makes. There's a lot of good in the hobby now, and let's just focus on that, shall we? I'm gonna go, guys. If you could give the stream a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. It means quite a bit. Support whatever local hobby shop you do have. I unfortunately really don't have a local hobby shop that does the slot cars that I like. They do HO, but that's not my jam. So anyway, guys, I will be back obviously every Friday to do slot car news. That is who I am. That is what I do. And in between then and now, hope everybody stays safe, stays healthy, and probably I'll be going live a little more now that my baseball team that I'm the team photographer for is over this coming Saturday. It's their last game. Only 3 more games this year, and Little League World Series is over tomorrow afternoon at 3. Thankfully, get those things over with, and plan on doing more live streams. Plan on doing more this, that, and the other. Jay Grizzo, you've been doing a lot of commenting. Cheers. I really appreciate you stopping by as often as you do. John, Bryce, Anthony, Ryburn, Ron, David, Garth, Raul, everybody out there. See y'all again soon. I appreciate it.